I have the movie recommendation for you. A Man Called Otto. So far, the absolute best movie of the year. Here's my review of A Man Called Otto. My expectation of A Man Called Otto was very low because the trailers released for this film were not great. The trailer did not entice me to want to see this film, but I think there's genius behind that trailer because there's very little that you know from the trailer, but what you do know is that it's Tom Hanks and he's a grumpy old man. He's playing a grumpy old man. Total opposite of who Tom Hanks is in real life. Very nice man, likely the nicest man in Hollywood. The man who played Mr. Rogers, the man who played Forrest Gump, is now playing a grumpy old man in A Man Called Otto. So if anyone can pull it off, it's Tom Hanks. And boy, does he deliver. He is so convincing as this grief-stricken widower who wants to end his life because he thinks he has nothing else to live for. But what stops him are neighbors who depend on him and need his wisdom and his life experience to get through their own lives. Now, there are very tender moments. There are very tender moments in here, and there's a lot of tension. It deals with self-harm. He tries to unalive himself quite a few times, at least 5 times in this film. And even in those moments, even in those really dark moments in the film, Tom Hanks finds a way to make it funny. It's very difficult to do that. He breaks the tension with these very comedic moments that I don't think anyone else could have pulled off. He pulls off brilliantly. Remember, we're talking about Tom Hanks. We're talking about Tom Hanks, a genius in his own right, a historian, the nicest man in Hollywood, and he pulls off being a male Karen, if you will. I mean, really nitpicky and bothersome and condescending for most of the time. This would annoy you. A neighbor who's condescending all the time would really annoy you. He finds a way to make this very funny. I think if A Man Called Otto were released around the time when Black Adam was in the theaters for alternative programming, if it were released then, I think we would be talking about Tom Hanks being nominated for an Oscar for this role. This performance still qualifies for the Oscars, but I think because the rollout is so late that it might be overlooked. It might be overlooked, but he gives a really great performance. And there's some really great messaging in this film about community. When you don't have family and when you don't have friends, you can still find community. And I love that despite his grumpiness and despite all of that anger that he presents himself to the world with, despite it, his neighbor Marisol sees beyond all of it, and that isn't done so much lately. Someone who seems to be bullish or a bully, you have someone with heart that sees beyond all that, that knows there's something going on, and that's why this person is projecting. And she's very patient, Marisol. She is very patient and embraces him like family. One of the best movies. This movie is going to surprise you so much. I was so surprised. I think Tom Hanks gives, especially after that Elvis performance that I absolutely hated, he comes back with this. One of his best performances since Forrest Gump. Definitely see this film in the theaters. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to applaud. And I think this movie is going to continue to grow with word of mouth because, again, the campaign, the promo for this movie is the trailers aren't great, but it was probably strategic because it's Tom Hanks and they wanted people to see it to give it a chance and so that it can grow organically by word of mouth. This is a great film. If it's playing in a theater near you, treat yourself and see this movie. It is worth it. You will have a blast. A Man Called Otto is in theaters now.